On an unassuming property on the eastern side of Victoria, Tony Vaz, an ex-trainer and animal activist, prepares a meal for his dogs. The greyhounds on his property are like family to him. Each dog is an individual, all with unique and special attributes. Voices like Tony in the sport of greyhound racing believe it should be allowed to continue, but only if the community's concerns are listened to.
Know what their concerns are so we can address those concerns and hopefully keep the sport going. I mean, I'd like to see the sport continue, but it's got to continue in a fair and sustainable way that has the interest, not just the interest of the dog, but also the interest of the community.
This defence comes after the shocking inexcusable actions of 2014, when trainer Bradley Keel was found to be punching a greyhound in the face at the Churidan Troll Track in New South Wales. The trainer was found guilty of this and was fined $700 by the Racing Appeal and Disciplinary Tribunal, which Tony finds shocking. These issues come to a head recently after a report by the ABC's Four Corners program exposed the practices of rogue operators such as Mr. Keel, and shocked the sport and Greyhound Racing Victoria into action, although Tony believes this response was too slow.
The Racing Commissioner, who's appointed by the Minister, didn't pick this footage up. He was given that footage by Animals Australia, didn't pick it up. He handed it to the stewards, the Greyhound Racing Victoria stewards. They looked over that footage with a fine-tooth comb. In fact, they invited every single trainer that trialled a dog on that footage to view the footage. So that footage was viewed over and over again, yet no one picked up this dog being punched.
There are also concerning statistics indicating that an estimated 18,000 dogs die every year in Australia in this sport, which includes 8,000 pups that never reach the racetrack, with another 10,000 retired due to injury, age, or because they are no longer fast enough, according to statistics compiled by Animals Australia.
That's caused by a lack of a place for slower, average dogs to survive, and for hobby trainers like this, similar to this facility here, where you have hobby people involved who want to keep their dogs, but because there's no race for those dogs, they find that they have to move them on, or they have to take them to the vet and put them to sleep.
Despite the recent negative press, however, there's positives coming in the wake of this scandal. Greg Miller, the CEO of Sandown Racing Club, says in the face of the unsettling events of the last few months, the outlook looks promising.
It's a shame it happened, a shame it got exposed like it did, but it's a good thing because ultimately we'll rid ourselves of people in the industry who are doing the wrong thing. So ultimately it's only going to lead to good. We'll finish up with a much cleaner, better industry.
Breeders and trainers such as Cranbourne Greyhound Racing Club President Greg Carter also feel the outlook is bright and that people must consider the size of the sport.
The attitude of people have changed a lot in the way they view things now and do things differently. It's only been a small percentage overall when we talk of how many people are in the industry. I'm going to say racing throughout Australia is probably the biggest employer in Australia, and this is what people don't take into consideration.
He feels the greyhounds must be looked after and are currently well kept in the sport.
Well, if you don't treat your animal right, it doesn't perform for you. You can't have a scared animal, and that I'm going to say you have to look after them, feed them properly, groom them. They're probably the most looked after dog of any dog at all, sort of thing. They're feeding and the upkeep and that and accommodation, so you get what you put into them.
Stephen Barnes reporting for Mojo News.